Were you at your new place any days this week when it was hot?
Was I there this week? Yeah, but in the morning.
Okay.
So not.
I was just wondering. Dad, you know what that means.
Oh, we starting?
Wait a
A
minute.
little heads up would have been nice. I can't really do this cold. I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna want to.
It's 013.
Oh no!
It's time to go.
It's actually 6:30.
What? Wow.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to That Checks Out with David and Ted. Going in cold today.
Yeah, going in cold for sure.
Coming in cold. Coming in cold.
I like to be so. Mac, have
what-
you been at your new place? I like. It's gonna show real well during the during the music.
It's gonna be real good.
That'll be real nice. Okay.
Gotta like that a lot.
So we've been away for a little while.
Have we?
Little behind the scenes. Last time we were in the studio was our live event.
Yeah, live.
Yeah, and we recorded our last episode before that.
Right.
So we do want to thank everybody that came out for that and did that. And
no idea what day it is.
Yeah, and we got a lot of positive feedback on that. So we'll see about doing more of those.
Yeah.
So especially Max moving to a new studio.
Studio.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, we're moving to a new studio. Maybe Max not. Good news, everybody! Surprise.
Wait,
but
what?
so it'll be there'll be different opportunities to try different stuff, and we'll go from there. So it'll be fun. But you traveled
I
and
did.
left the state. Many
Wow.
states.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, you didn't drive this time. No rental car.
I flew.
So you flew. Yeah, and I don't even
No.
want to know about flying. I've never done that.
I
But
had the weirdest seat on the way out.
okay,
It was right after first class.
really?
And the plane, like the aisle, like usually in planes, the aisle's straight back. You know,
Yeah.
but this one jogged, did a little S curve.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at the end of the S curve. So there's one seat in front of me, but there's one seat next to me. But there's one seat in front of the seat next to me. There's no seat in front of me.
Okay.
So people coming down the aisle have to get to me and then do a sharp left and then a sharp right to S around me.
Yeah.
Well, but while they're not there, I'm realizing I can see straight up into the cockpit. I'm like, I remember, didn't we lock these? Like,
Yeah.
why is this wide open?
Yeah, I'm shady.
Yeah, what is going on here?
And if I'm shady, there's somebody on here worse than me.
Pull up. Traffic, pull up. No, it was a great time. I went to New York City. It was the first time for me. My cousin lives there, which is great. I know she's a great supporter of the show. So thank you, Kim, for letting me come over and bring my family to your place. And
Ooh.
we had to eat on the roof because wouldn't let us in the place.
Right, yeah.
Come on, let's not get crazy.
Look, you're not inside friends, okay?
I went to a store that I follow the guy on YouTube, and I don't know how I got to his channel originally. It was one of those rabbit hole YouTube things.
Yeah.
But he owns a store called Pop Fuzz where he does like comic books and action figures and collectibles and stuff. And it was just weird to see that someplace you've watched like forever, and then you walk in and you're like, oh, that's how this is laid out. This is weird.
Yeah.
But it's cool. He wasn't there when I went in. I told him, hey, I'm sorry I missed you. He was like, hey, I'm around the corner. If you go back, I'll pop in. So we both came, and he came over and we
Really?
chatted a little bit, which was really, really great.
I saw the picture.
Yeah.
So you guys took a photo together.
Yeah, it's Pop Fuzz. You can find it on YouTube. Check him out. And please support him. He supports us. So let's share the love, everybody.
Yeah, you have to. We're all trying,
All that said, I think you would have hated the trip.
Really?
Yeah. Well, first I had to fly,
Oh, yeah.
and then I was in a city,
Yeah.
and we had to walk everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the walking. I'm opposed to this.
I know. I put it out there to make it seem like it was.
Yeah.
But
like,
here's the thing, like it's
you had a smirk on your face
yeah.
when you said that.
I know, but I know how you like to sit so you can see the door in restaurants, and that was
Yeah.
not an option. There was literally like, you're going to go there. And I put that thing on there where it was literally like table of two, and you'd see a table like in between other people, and you think, no, that's just part of that table. Like, why are you and they would, to the point where they'd have to pull the table out
To let you in.
to let the person sitting in the bench get in. You're like, no, this isn't a place for a table, man. This is the walkway for these two other tables.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand that.
Someone's walking through my plate of
Yeah.
spaghetti
Yeah.
because they need to get to the restroom.
When I can literally not even lean over, just be like, hey, can you pass the salt? No, I was talking to people at my table.
That's when I told you, remember, it's family style.
Yeah.
Help yourself to anything
Yeah.
on anybody's plate. You said they weren't real receptive to that, apparently. Huh?
No, not really. And we went to this one because we were kind of in a hurry, and there was this place near the place we needed to be.
Yeah.
And we went there, and we didn't know it was one of those places where the people that didn't make it on Broadway, the waitresses and waiters sing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And we were right under a speaker. So it was loud.
Oh, they were mic'd too.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't just like
No, it was, yeah. You're like, next up, Danny is going to be on the mic. And you're like, no, Danny needs to bring me my coffee.
Yeah.
I got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's great, though. We hand the guy the card. Like, he's like, oh, I used to have a card like this. And I'm like, was it mine? Because I lost one. And he's like, no, I had one. I was originally from Chicago. And I was like, from Chicago or somewhere near Chicago? Like, we know the game, Danny.
Yeah.
We are also from Chicago.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, St. Charles. And we're like, we're from Aurora. And he's like, really? And I was like, well, no, actually from Montgomery. And he just looked, I'm like, yeah, Aurora. Like, we're so small that I can't even say the town I'm actually in to a guy whose town is 8 miles away.
Right. Yeah.
It was like one time when I went to when I went in college, I told the guy that I was from Joliet.
So one time when you went to college.
Never went back. Never went back. I said I was from Joliet, and the guy was like, I'm not familiar. I'm like, where are you from? He said he was from Frankfurt.
And he didn't know
you. I was like, you got to be lying to me. You don't know where Joliet is?
Right. Right.
That's like being in New Jersey and saying, "No, I don't know where New York City is." What are you talking about?
Yeah. So weird. They have something called New York City around here. This is so weird.
Really have to explain it to the people not from around here. So Macaulay, here's the thing: Frankfurt touches Joliet. That's what I need to let you know.
Yeah, that's how it works.
They're like interwoven. I went to NBC and I bought a magnet. I wanted a hat, but they didn't say it didn't have a Law and Order hat. They just had a magnet.
So you got the magnet?
Yeah.
Nice. And then you saw a taping of a
Seth Meyers, late night. Seth Meyers.
Which that was cool. Pretty cool too.
Yeah, it was cool because it's weird. You can see it's the depth they put in the camera is weird because you're sitting there and you're like, oh, that wall isn't as far back. Because you see in the camera, it looks like the wall is way far back, and really they're standing on it, and you're like, why are you doing that magic? Like that makes no sense. I get it if you're trying to make the room look bigger, like the audience look bigger,
right?
But who cares about if the wall is 4 feet back or 20 feet back?
Right? Yeah.
Wow, they film in a warehouse. That's amazing.
Wow, they have so much space.
But he was super cool and chill. He came up into the crowd and was answering questions and stuff. And
really,
one person was like, "Hey, when I was here last, I told my son I was going to be here, and he couldn't be here because finals, and he almost broke down because he loves you so much. He watches you all the time, and he's like, well, can I give you something that for him?" And he's like, they're like, no, but can you sign something for us that we can show to him so make him cry more? And he's like, oh, I'll gladly do that.
Nice. Sounds like that's parenting 101 from my house.
Yeah. And where I was sitting, like everyone that was coming in off stage, they were right next to me. So it was weird. Like I would know what was happening next because I could look down and I could see them right there.
Yeah.
And the guy that does the cue cards for Saturday Night Live, he also does the cue cards for Seth.
Yeah.
And he literally stood next to me the entire time. And he kept coming around. I kept trying to give him a fist bump, but he just ignored it to the point where I looked like I had some condition where my arm was just out.
Right turn, Clyde.
Like, come on, man. Come on, Wally. You can do
it. That's so awesome. It doesn't say in his cue card he's supposed to fist bump.
Right.
That's why. Does a cue card guy get a cue card? They got another guy standing in front of him. Don't fist bump.
Don't trust that guy.
Yeah, don't. He looks shady.
He's from air quotes Chicago.
He almost went in a cockpit on a plane. Yeah.
Oh, and then on the way back, so we get all the way to the terminal. We get the bags checked. We're in the line.
Yeah.
My daughter's like, I have to go to the bathroom, and I was like, of course you do.
Yeah.
Because the line is huge. Gets out. I stay in the line. And then they break you off at one point. They're like, you go that way, you go that way. I'm in line. I've been in line for 4 hours now. Not really, but that's what it feels like. And I get a text, hey, we're through. And I was like, what? And they're like, where are you? I'm like, I'm still in line. I've got a solid 20 minutes.
Hey, we're through.
Yeah. And they're like, what happened?
Not with the bathroom.
Yeah,
they're through the line.
They're through. They're on the other side of security. They've taken the shoes off, got them through, got the shoes back on. They're done.
Yeah.
And they're like, what happened? Like, I don't know. I didn't set it up. I didn't go like, hey, can you put me in the worst line?
Yeah.
Just so I can prove a point to my family.
Yeah.
That getting out of the real line, going to the bathroom was the better thing to do. Yeah. And then I get to the front and realize that there's a sign that says use both lanes, but they put that sign around on the other side of a column. So people can't see that. So the people behind me see that and they start like cutting under the
and
things.
Now you're mad.
Well, I'm angry because here's the thing. I know if I cut under, I'm going to be the one guy they're going to be like, sir, we can't have you cutting lines. You need to go to the back. I know that's going to happen. So I do the right thing and I stay in line. I wait the time.
Yeah.
But then when I get to that sign, I yank that sumbitch out, put it in the view of everyone else, like turn it, angle it so people can see it. And like literally people in the switchbacks are like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, so angry.
So at what point when your wife and daughter went by you in the other line, did you?
Well, they were totally on their side, so they couldn't have seen me.
Okay. I was
looking for them, but clearly they're not looking for me.
Right. He knows the way back to Illinois.
Yeah.
He's okay.
And then I get there. I get through security. Then we have to go to my gate. And because I'm a Wilson, my gate is always, what's the furthest gate? Put the plane there.
Yeah.
So I will go up an escalator, over a bridge, through a thing, down an escalator, down some stuff, and I get there and they're like, "Oh, good, you're here. We wanted some food." You've been here for how long? Why are you waiting for me?
Yeah.
Like, we're 8 minutes from boarding at this point. I wanted to go to the bathroom now because it's been an hour. Like, I didn't have to go when I got here, which I should have gone with you guys because I would have been through security at this point. Yeah. It was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, can you watch the bag so we can go get something to eat? Sure, no problem. I will just stand and wait some more. I'm used to it at this point.
I've been practicing for this moment all day. Yeah. I got this. I've been training. So again, since I'm a Disney guy, I know about the lines.
Yeah.
So that I guess that side I can be on with you. I get that. And then since we live in Illinois, there's construction on every highway. So I know about people going on the left and trying to get all the way up to the front to merge in.
Yeah.
But in reality,
but these people when the people from behind me started cutting the, I was like, so here's the thing. So now the line behind me is like zooming through.
Right.
And I'm like,
yeah. But as soon as you join that, so you're like, oh.
Yeah. Like, no.
They were watching you.
Yeah.
Swarm.
Yeah.
Swarm.
It's the guy. It's the guy that let his family go on the other line.
Right.
But no, and the other thing that sucked is that the couple times we took taxis, it was literally like the three of us just in the back row by themselves. When we find the last car that picked us up, because this was all paid for because it was a trip.
Yeah.
The car from the airport home. The person was like, "Hey, does someone want to sit in front?" And I was like, "Finally, I will gladly sit in front."
Yeah, where's
I'm
the AC
so
vent?
tired of my right leg sitting on the armrest of the door,
right,
for an entire trip.
Yeah. Well, when you take 3 adults and put them in the backseat of any kind of car, even if it's a town car, you're still like, well, okay, cool.
Are you still seatbelted in? I can't even move my arms.
Yeah. And the one in the middle has a totally different vacation. You haven't seen anything out windows that is over 4 foot high. So,
that's the downfall of being a child.
Yeah.
Even if you're in your late teens, that's the downfall of being a child.
Yeah.
No, but we planes, subways, taxis, everything. Boats. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then the other thing you saw, I do have to mention, you saw Hamilton in.
Yeah, I saw him.
And you said it was okay.
It was good, yeah. I mean, this is not news. Everyone else in the world has seen it. Everyone else who's wanted to see it, I think, by now has seen it, because they also have it on Disney Plus where you can watch like a taping of one of the performances.
Yeah, I believe.
But I didn't want to do that because I wanted to see it live. So I have not spoiled anything. I never listened to the soundtrack. I didn't do anything until I saw it. And I told you on the way here, the irony is that everyone else in my family has seen it. And the day those tickets were purchased, like, "Hey, I bought tickets for Hamilton." I'm like, "Cool, when are we going?" "Oh, I didn't get one for you."
The history buff.
Yeah. How many tickets did you buy? 4. And I count in my family. Okay, well, there's 4 of us. Truman's probably not going to want to go. So that's an extra one. Well, how am I still out of this? But yeah, it was. Yeah. Apparently, it was ladies' night at Hamilton. Yeah. And I was not invited.
So you were mathematically eliminated from Broadway.
Yeah.
That checks out.
And
checks
out. So my daughter, this is the second time she's seen it. And it was totally, was nonchalant. "Hey, you excited for this? You ready to go?" We get there, just jamming along to all the songs, singing along.
Yeah.
And then every time I look over, I would freeze. It was like freeze tag. Like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this at all. I didn't want to do this.
You're not allowed to watch them have fun. You have to be like stalking them, like, here they are in their natural prey.
Right.
Enjoying the show. And then they turn and you're like, "Oh, hold still. Don't let them see you."
Oh, I forgot to tell you that we did an escape room. So we love to do escape rooms, and there's a company called the Escape Game. There's one actually here in Chicago, but we first did it in Nashville, and they have one there. And I said, I got to try it. Yeah. Everywhere I go, they're going to have one. I'm going to want to do this. And we go there, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to put you in with 2 groups." And I was like, "Can we go back to COVID rules?"
Yeah.
Because I liked it when it was, we can only put you in with your group.
Yeah.
So now we're like, and they're like, "We're waiting on the third group. The first group's here, you're here." I'm like, cool. And then all of a sudden it's coming to the time, like, "Hey, they didn't show up, so we're going to put you in. We're just not going to let them in." I'm like, "Oh, good." And then the phone rings. I'm like, "Hey, if that's them, you card played, man."
Yeah.
Card played. You cannot tell them.
Yeah.
And it was them. And they're like, "Hey, we already told them we're going to start the room. We're sorry. We'll see if we can do it." And I'm like, "Good. While you're doing that, let's just go to the room." And they're like, he's like, "Okay, so since you're a different group, we're going to let you introduce each other. We're going to meet everyone. Then we'll take you in the room, and then you can start." Someone shows up and says, "Hey, we're going to take you to the room." We go in the room. They're doing everything. They do the pre-video. They do us all the rules and regulations. And they have any questions? Like, "Yeah, can we meet these other people? Because I don't know who these people are, and I don't want to be like, you, what's that? You, what's this? You, what's this?"
Yeah.
And then it turns out they're all from Holland, and English is not their first language.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so awesome.
And we're like, "Okay, cool. Have you ever done an escape room before?" And they're like, "No."
So it is just your family.
Right.
Right. So we're back to COVID rules.
We're like, "Oh, no."
So COVID rules and Holland rules are basically the same thing. Okay, gotcha.
And it's one of these ones where it's elaborate, where we're starting outside of a cabin.
Yeah.
And it's a really tight room. And there were 6 of us because there's the 3 of us and 3 of them. And I was like, there's going to be another group. I'm already standing on this guy's like windmill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Why are you going to fit 3 more people in here?
Your wife is not going to turn the butter properly in this room. Are
And
we
then-
stereotyping everything?
So this room is tight. It's like a tight room. And
it's toy like a toy.
Right.
Go
And the
ahead.
woman's like, is that it? Is all we're going to do is get in that cabin? And I'm like, oh, no, it's more than that. Right.
The escape room was breaking and entering. That's
Right.
it.
Right. I'm like, no, there's multiple rooms. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
Right? So
yeah.
we get into that room and then it's like, is this it? I'm like, there's only one door in and out. I'm like, no, there's got to be more. Right. Suddenly we do all this stuff. The fireplace opens up and Tina's like, please tell me that's not a slide. I'm like, well, I got good news, bad news. And she's like, what? I'm like, well, bad news, it's a slide. Well, she's, what's the good news? It's like, I'm enjoying the slide. Because we had to go up into the cabin and then we had to slide down into the hidden mine, right?
Okay.
And the first time this happened, the same company in Nashville, we thought we were done. So we knew better at this point. So the thing opened up, there was a slide, and I thought that was the end. And I said, but I don't want to go down there first. So I grabbed Truman and literally grabbed him by like his belt buckle and by the scruff of his shirt and threw him down the slide. And I was like, let us know what happens.
Is it clear?
Yeah. And he was like, there's another room down here. And we were
You
like,
hear,
oh no.
It's right next to a wall. Oh.
Well, this time there was no Truman.
Yeah.
We had a lunchbox that still had a lock on it. We hadn't opened up yet.
So you
and
slid it down?
So yeah, that's what I threw down first. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to figure out how deep it is. And I chucked it down. I'm like, it seems safe. So I go, oh man, it was amazing.
So
And well, then we get down there and the screen says, don't forget the lunchbox and the other thing you found. And I was like, hey, lunchbox is good, lady.
Yeah.
We got that. And I'm screaming up the tunnel. I'm like, hey, don't forget this. And Tina's like, I can't find it. I don't see it. I'm like, that room fits 4 things.
Yeah.
And 6 of us were humans. So how could you not? It was amazing. She's like, I don't see it. I'm like, again, in the escape room, I got to be the finder.
Yeah.
I'm already down the slide.
That's what I was going to say. I think escape room rules say the finder goes last down the slide.
Should have been.
Okay.
Had
you
I
go down
known.
first.
Yeah.
You read the signs
And then I
and
go-
you relay the message. Okay. Is there a flight of stairs next to this? Is there a rope ladder?
Yeah. Oh.
How do I get back in that room?
Well, we go down this, and one of the kid, the Hollandaise kid. I don't know how what it is.
Isn't that a sauce?
Yes, Hollandaise kid. He's like, I got. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want some Benny back there?
Yeah.
He woke up for the eggs, Benny.
Right.
At one point, he's like, "Oh, I think we need that." He did crawl back up the slide, and when we came back down, I was like, "A, we didn't need that," and 2, they're not going to make you crawl up a slide. I know this is your first escape game.
I wish the family would have been Canadian. You'd have been like, hey, we didn't need that.
A, we didn't need that. A.
Yeah.
That's for you, Macaulay. But long story short, we got out 15 minutes remaining. They're
Gotcha.
like, that's amazing time. I'm like, yeah, especially since we were talking different languages.
Yeah, right. Right.
And I had to explain to people, no, that's not what it is. I guarantee you that they were like so elaborate. They're like, well, maybe if we take down all of these bricks, brick by brick, and rebuild. No,
Yeah.
it's not. You're too much.
So
You're overthinking it.
you're the only one that's like, we only made it out because I was able to download Rosetta Stone from my phone and I was able to learn
There's
a
one point
language.
where we're trying to get a combination lock, and it's like a math problem. And I'm like, wait, we have 3 of the 4 numbers, and they're like, yeah. And I was like, to the Hollandaise kid, I was like, put in the 3 numbers and then spin the dial till you get the 4th one. And he was like, oh, that worked. I'm like, I know. I know it worked. Why are we spending 20 minutes trying to figure out the 4th number?
Right.
There's only so many combinations. We already have 3.
Yeah.
it
I
was-
didn't say start with 000000001. That's not what I said.
Right. Oh, man, that was a good time, though.
That's cool, though. That's cool.
And they were like, are they all like this? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
That's just so great, though. COVID rules and Holland rules. Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing. It's just my family.
I was like,
I feel like we're smuggling
when
another
the first
family.
one started talking, I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting.
Right.
Because at some point, to be fair, I want to be fair, clear everything. They did speak English, but it wasn't their first language. There was some stuff where we were like, you just need this. And that was not the word they had heard before. And I was like, oh, what is the actual word for that thing?
Yeah.
Like, what's what hillbillies call it?
You know what's great, though, is like if they only knew like cuss words. So they're like just screaming American
One of the
cuss words.
clues is that there was a picture of a bear and it had all these symbols on it, and you had to pick up a gun and notice that the sight of the gun matched one of the symbols on the thing.
Okay.
And one of the guys picked up the gun and he just went, America. And I was like, you made it, man. You figured it out.
It's awesome. And you're like, hold the A.
Yeah.
America.
America.
Let me teach you something right
Yeah.
now. Okay. America.
Are all escape rooms gun related? Probably.
Yeah.
All safe rooms are gun.
Yeah, I was gonna say all safe rooms are definitely gun related. So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That's
It's called
pretty
the
cool.
escape game. Call me.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, we could use a sponsor there. We could.
Well, the best part was like, hey, we can go because we already paid. Because every time you go, you can prepay for your next one.
Yeah,
for cheaper.
and it's
like,
good at any location.
Yeah, and I've got the. We did that last time we were in Chicago. Well, those cards didn't come with me because they wouldn't give us on one card. So I had 4 cards, and I don't want to carry that around in my wallet.
Right.
So I took it out, not knowing when I went to New York 2.5 years later that I was going to need. And I was like, damn.
Yeah. 3 out of 4 of those cards would have came in handy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now I have another escape game.
You could have bought a Holland guy.
I could have. Hey, you
Sir.
want in?
Sir.
I got a free one.
Yeah. That what would have been so great though is if that third family was like German or something. So
Yeah.
it's like either way, they
No,
can't talk. You
Right.
all can't talk to each other.
Right.
That would have been hysterical.
If one of them knew like Dutch and the other one knew English, but not everyone knew both.
Right.
So you had to go.
Well, and,
Yeah, so I'd have to tell they'd have to tell the Dutch guy one thing, and we'd have to tell the English guy.
Yeah.
this.
and I guess German is maybe more prevalent with college courses. So you pick something more off the board. But that's why I didn't go with like Spanish or nothing like that.
I only went once.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I remember that day I went to college. But so while we were away, and I did not show you this morning because my wife actually has to be present when I show the gift that I gave her for anniversary / Mother's Day. It is monumental. Okay. She has to be present. She was not up and around this morning because we're recording early. So she'll be there later. And I desperately want to show you what the world's greatest husband provided his wife with. It is phenomenal. Yeah. But she needs to be.
Did it come in a nondescript plastic bag?
It did not.
Okay.
Yeah, it did not.
I got worried there. For
Yeah.
a minute.
But so anyway, that's really the only thing that we did lots of neat stuff, but nothing like what
And
I'd love to do that.
I hate like we just want to hear a whole episode about Ted's vacation. I did a lot of I did a lot of stuff because I'd never been there. We crammed in so much stuff. It was
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so creative. It was like, what are we doing today? Well, we're going all these places.
Yeah.
Great.
This makes up for all the weeks when I go, okay, now let's get into strange stories after I'm done talking.
Right. And then they'd be like, hey, wow, we really jumped into strange stories quickly. Yeah, because you didn't ask me what I had done.
Yeah, because nobody else in here did anything except Damon. So, and you know what? That does check out. That checks out a lot. So I happened to see a couple of weird commercials, which is weird because I don't ever watch commercials. There's a show coming out that's called, and maybe it's out already. It's called My Feet Are Killing Me.
I have not heard of it.
Okay. So anyway, the doctor on here, like a podiatrist or whatever, foot doctor says, this is their quote. Every time I see a foot, you have to understand there's a person attached to that foot.
Not necessarily.
So my thought was, first off, you think,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And second off was, what kind of weird severed foot collection do you have?
I'm just going to say, this man has never seen a severed foot.
Yeah. Right.
Is he really a doctor?
And then you're like, is he just covering? Because he has a huge collection at home. He's like, I have to realize every one of those is attached to the body that's in my crawl space.
Yeah, that definitely goes under hashtag oddly specific.
Yeah.
Did you feel you had to say that?
Right. And it's one of those things where it's like, that's your tagline.
Yeah.
Like that's how they bring it in. And the doctor announces it that way.
Conversely, there's a guy on YouTube. His channel, he's a podiatrist as well. His channel is called Toe Bro.
Nice. Okay.
So there's two sides of everything. Like he's like, there's a person, there's a human. It's not just a foot. There's a human. And the other guy's like, hey, bro, let's check out those toes. Let's get in there.
See, and here's
But that's what they're like. But this thing is like they sat around in a marketing meeting, like, how do we sell a show about feet?
well, the doctor needs to make a blatantly obvious statement
That he doesn't hoarding feet.
Yeah. Yeah, my collection are all connected to people.
Yeah, it's like, how'd you get into podiatry? Well, it turns out sometimes you can do what you love.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. You're just sizing them up for later. You're like, ooh, you got nice feet, And then she went missing. But no, what was that?
Not Oliver.
The Mitch Hedberg joke. A severed foot makes an excellent stocking stuffer. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool, That's a great it's a great joke by Mitch, And he was hysterical. But that's the first thing I thought of too when I saw that. I'm like, But there's another show. And this is the last one. It's a new show, and this is what it's called. Lil Jon wants to do what? That's the name of the show. Okay. So my thought is, I just saw the commercial, and it's this little. I think it'd be great if they let him do his own promos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they ask him questions, but he says what? He says what? And what?
The man has made an entire career out of saying 3 words weird.
Yeah. What? Yeah. And okay. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought it'd be great if they're like, they start shooting the promo and they're like, hey, so this show you're doing, is it real? What? You know what I mean? And then they're like, no, seriously, like we believe it's all staged. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they're like, eventually they're like, the PR team's like, stop talking. Stop talking. They're asking you questions geared. That's like putting them on the witness stand and being like, we'll just word the question right. So we know it's going to fit in one of those 3 categories,
No offense to anyone who's a Little John fan, but I feel like that's the part where you're
so both people, both people,
with all due respect,
it's the equivalent of when you go to your fridge at the end of the month and going, I guess we can make this for dinner.
Yeah, it really is.
That's where we're at TV programming.
But you know what's weird? He's almost like outdated tartar sauce. Like he's going to show up in something at times. You're like, oh man, we need tartar sauce. Okay, well, we got that in the bottle in there from 2017. It's been in the fridge. You know what I mean? Right. And it just says like best used.
Right.
Caffeine-free Diet Coke. Yeah, like your fridge. but I'm saying
it just says Best Buy.
Yeah.
So it still might be good.
Even that, or here's a better one. You go to your spice rack and you have a spice you never use. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm going to put that in there. It shows. That's the thing about Lil Jon. He shows up in just a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, I know that. Yeah. And that what? And that okay. And then you hear another song and you're like, oh, there's a yeah and a what and okay. So his show is probably okay, But I don't know if it's Home Improvement. I don't know what it is because I looked no more into it other than the commercial where literally the title says Lil Jon wants to do what?
I want to back up his spice racks for a second because I want to tell you that if you went to my mom's spice rack, it would be like National Treasure 14,
right?
Where she's like, I'm going to steal the Smithsonian's paprika.
Yeah. Right.
Because you open it up, you're like, Mom, these tins, like they haven't made these tins since made them since 1985.
Someone traded a beaver pelt for these spices.
Yeah.
That's how old these are.
Wow, these are out of date when I was born.
Yeah.
Why are they still in here? Well, I'm going to throw them away. Well, don't now.
Yeah.
Now they're collector items.
Yeah. Ooh, don't do that.
You have saved them long enough where they have value again.
Yeah. Turns out 40-year-old spices are just fermenting and they're perfect. But yeah, that's how I picture him though. Just sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Well,
that's right. I can't. He's not something you need. He's literally like a spice you literally use sparingly.
Right.
How are you building a whole show around that?
Right. Yeah. He's like the cayenne pepper.
This is Little John show. Is he in it a lot? Well, no, it's Little John. Oh, okay.
He just takes you to commercial. Are we going to commercial? Yeah.
You watch the episode, it's a whole other thing. You really get into it, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah. And you're like, I forgot you were in this. I totally forgot.
That's what it is. Yeah. He just makes cameos. Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome.
And next week, we're going to do this. Okay. You're like, Little John's there. Forgot. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
It's Home Improvement. They're at the store picking out their countertops.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? It's okay. Where did you come from? He just pops out.
So you know anything about the premise of the show? Or
I don't.
You got to the title and you're like,
I don't. I got to the title and I was just like, okay, fast forward again. Because I saw it. When you stop fast forwarding too soon and you're in the middle of a commercial.
Yeah.
And it came up.
But yeah.
Yeah, but it came up and I went, huh? And it said, and be sure to catch, coming. And I don't know when it might be out now, but coming. And I was just like, okay.
Well, you want to talk about my knowledge of TV these days? Like this is the time of the year where all these articles come out where like these shows have been canceled. And so I'll go in and look. I don't recognize any of the shows.
Right.
Like it's been canceled after its 6th season. Like I didn't know it was on at all. I've never heard of that show.
Yeah.
And all over the ABC, Fox, NBC, they're canceling all these shows left and right that I've never heard of. Everything like, wow, I'm glad to be out of this loop.
Yeah. Yeah.
No idea what's on these shows.
And like I said, I usually fast forward through commercials. So I don't have any knowledge of new things. I don't have any knowledge of products. There's some, like I said, once in a while when I watch if I watch Andy Griffith or Leave It to Beaver or something, that's when I find those weird commercials.
Oh, I thought I was old for watching The Mummy last night from 1999.
No, I like shows like that. And my son Chuck, he'll watch Andy Griffith with me. It's a good show and it would still be prevalent today. So, but the problem is nobody would watch it because it'd be too boring. It needs more, it needs more activity. It
Well,
needs more.
there's no jump cuts.
Yeah, it
anymore.
needs sexual tension and everything else. So you're not going to get that from Barney Fife. So it is what it is.
Oh, you don't tell me you're not getting that from Aunt B.
Right.
You're the one that demanded. There's an Aunt B restaurant. We need to go check that out.
Wait a minute. You said
I want to try some of her pie.
You said Claire is in the kitchen. All right.
we get there. It's literally a rundown Dairy Queen.
It really was. It was so bad.
Hey, I bet if we just put Aunt B's name on this Dairy Queen, people will come. Turns out they were right, jerks.
So I do have a question. And this comes off of being in like different chat rooms on social media.
I'm scared.
No, why is it so hard? Yeah.
It wasn't Reddit.
Just
Was it?
say goodbye.
Something hub.
To
So-
yesterday.
So why is it so hard for people to do than and then?
Same as there, and your.
Well, but that I almost understand that one more.
Nope. Don't like it.
I know, but it sounds phonetically correct with the word there. Than and then is not phonetically correct. So you don't end a sentence with it's. I don't know. It's so weird.
Are we going grammar police? Because
Kind
we're
of.
going down the road.
No, kind of.
I have heard people use seen more than I have ever heard before, and I cannot stress enough. You cannot use seen by itself.
Right.
Cannot do it.
There
I mean,
had
you
to be
can,
a
'cause you'll
had
do.
or something in front of it. Yeah.
And especially if it's a text. Someone said, "Hey, I seen this the other day." I will write back, "Oh, you're saying you saw this the other day?" Like I will just as an ass every time just repeat the sentence back, put the right word back in it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's your MO.
Boom, right over the head. Boom. No, I don't even get it. Why is this guy changing the word I used? I don't understand that.
There's sometimes seriously, like when I'm texting or putting a post up or doing this and that, I will actually Google something just to make sure that I'm right before I put it up there. And sometimes I might still be wrong, but I do that on purpose because I don't want to be the guy where it's like, he put effective and he meant effective. You know what I mean? It's like, effection is not a word, Damon. What did you? I know what denticians do. So it is what it is. I'm smarter than you.
Well, it's the same thing. Whenever I type like, one of these words doesn't look right, I'll throw that into something and like, I did spell that one wrong. And
Yeah. I will get, what's weird too is like, because with your autocorrect, if you're remotely close on the word, a lot of times it'll pick it up.
Oh, but I hate when you don't.
Yeah,
but
but like you start it with like an E and it's supposed to be an A, or you start it with an A and it's supposed to be an E, and I'm like, how did I not know that was an E? You know? And it's like that's so weird that I've lived my whole life.
I love how they autocorrect when it's passively aggressive. Did you mean?
Did you mean GED?
Especially Google. Like, we know you typed that word in, but we're going to give you the search results for this,
right?
Because we feel that is not what you were looking for.
Correct.
It happens to me all the time. When if I type in Wilson, did you mean?
See, that's cool though, because they're smarter than us. So that's what it is. There's a room of people sitting there. They got a bot that figures out he doesn't know what a dentition is, but we're pretty sure he's got a toothache. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put him on this page.
Did you mean 4 less letters? Is that what you meant? Did you mean dentist?
I would say, did you mean public education? But that hits hard in this room, so I'm not going to do that.
Strike one.
Strike one. And you know who
I
you
love
are.
when people don't get that. They're like, why is he upset about that?
Yeah.
You know who did that? Has also done that out loud to my face?
Huh.
My sister.
And she grew up in the house.
Yeah. You know who was also angry about that? My mother.
Yeah. See, where you don't make jokes is the people that paid to put a roof over your head, help you go to college and everything else. So that's where you don't make jokes.
And here's the thing. I understand it didn't work for everyone. Totally get it. I also don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Right.
Not going to sway me to your side. I'm sorry.
So, hey, you know what I forgot to tell you is this last week.
Hey, Mac, I moved the mic. Ready? This is where I moved it. How I move it every time.
Yeah. So what I forgot to tell you is this week I did age myself appropriately.
I thought you were going to say I did and then you went with age.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, I did age myself appropriately, which really sucks. You believe that? I went from Rickroll to something hysterical to me. You almost spit out your coffee.
I know. It gets you every time.
I love that button. I don't know why. I need to put like a force field over that button so you can't touch it. Yeah.
I'll just put MC Hammer on it.
Ooh, it says I can't touch this. Yeah, noted. Noted.
Oh, if it goes, can't touch it. You believe that? I would laugh.
You believe that?
All right,
Doon, 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 doon. Yeah.
Can't touch this. All right, so you aged yourself.
I aged myself because what I did, and we're all familiar with this, but I did it for the lawn. I did the dad stare. I was so mad at myself. I've never been one of those people. I frown on that where it's like, oh, we're having yard wars, and he cut his grass, got to cut mine. No, I cut mine, and then I stood there and I went, wow, because it's already been fertilized, so it has very few dandelions.
I'm glad that's what you called it. I just called it. I had a dump on your lawn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's already been fertilized with fresh Wilson. So anyway, stew. But no. So I just I put my hands on the hips, and I even gave the like that, and then I went no. I mean, I caught myself immediately. I put the note in my phone. I immediately caught myself, and I was like, this did not just happen, and it did. And I'm like, that's how I know that that brought me a moment of joy. And it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Listen, maybe when I'm 70, if I live that long, but maybe when I'm 70, but not when I'm 45, almost 46, mid-40s, I was so ashamed of myself. But I went from being so proud to so ashamed in like a matter of a second. And then I thought, and I put it down, I typed it in as dad stare, right? And I realized there's a dad stare for your kids. It's different. But it was like the dad stare of pure satisfaction. And I hope nobody saw me do it.
Did you put on your white New Balance?
Yeah.
Right after you did that?
I did not, but I used to wear white Skechers that looked just like those all the time.
I actually had white New Balance.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have the typical dad shoes and the Midwest shoes because that's what people wear.
So the day before we left, everything was going on. So we had people. I actually had someone come over and mow the lawn.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did because it was the worst. And then we're on the thing, and she's like, I have to rate the lawn mowing. And I'm like, I hate giving people a bad review, so can we just not give them a review?
Were all the dandelions left over?
No, it wasn't that. It was just like you could see like where they had turned corners because there were still like strips of high grass.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it
was like uneven everywhere. And then I get back home, we're gone a week, and I got to mow my lawn again, which is not unheard of.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the people like my neighbors who haven't mowed it since last winter where it looked like, they needed a machete to get through it.
Right. Yeah.
But my mower would just not go through it. That's how much it was still too high. Like I was just trying to mow. It was like, and I have to break it up, push it another 2 inches.
Yeah.
And like, oh, come on. And I didn't even have a mulch. I had it on Kick It Out. So it's like shooting like literally bales of hay out of the side of it.
Fully formed.
Yeah,
like
there are bovine grazing in your front yard. Just cows, just grazing.
It's like I'm t-shirt cannoning hay into the house.
Right.
Boom, boom. And I'm like, what? Come on. It was so irritating that I'd already paid for someone to cut it once.
Yeah.
And it was still almost as high as the neighbors who hadn't cut it in 6 months. But yeah.
Well, have you had it fertilized or anything or no?
No.
See, because that's what, once they fertilized my yard, I was like, cool, I'm cutting it every 4 days because it was raining and it's warm and it's fertilized. And it's like, okay, then you try to find a day. Now, the last couple days, it's been real dry, so we're good. But you try to find a day where it's like not too wet.
Well, I was driving home last night, it was last or 2 nights ago, and it was, it was still like 175 degrees outside.
Yeah.
There's some guy push mowing what had to be a half acre, and I was like, oh God, man. Should I just call 911 now and tell him, give him about 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Roll out about 30 minutes. That guy's going to be dead.
That guy has a foot collection inside.
Yeah.
He has nothing to live for.
Holy cow. I was just like, oh, I'm not even doing that. It makes me hot. It was so gross.
And he's killing all that grass.
Yeah.
As we said, decapitating, right? So let me do a couple fun facts before we get into strange stories. All right. I had a couple of these that I thought were pretty good.
Still think we need to rename these facts.
They're fun facts.
Yeah. You keep
mind-blowing facts. Do you want mind-blowing?
Just
what
like
do you
fun
want?
fruits for fruits. Sure.
So Antarctica is the only continent that has no bees, ants, snakes, or wasps. First off, fun fact, but everybody should pretty much know that.
Yeah.
You know what they didn't say? Water wolves. Okay? Because I think they could still swim there. That would be my luck. I'd be like, look at those seals. Wolf just grabs me right off there. Boom, gone. But no, they put that out there, and I'm like, well, yeah, anywhere where it's that cold year round, you're not going to have species.
I was going to say, sometimes we don't have those things because it's too cold.
Right. Yeah. You know when we don't have them? In December, January, February, most of March, sometimes April.
In the Antarctica weather.
Yeah. But
that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We mentioned weather about New York. The thing you really would have hated is they don't know the understanding of inside climate control.
Oh, really?
It was so hot in so many places. To the point, like, not even me, like everyone in my party would just be like, why is it so hot in here? And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm dying in this place.
Yeah. Yeah, see, and that you're right. I would have, especially if like you sit down to eat. It's like, no, I'm not going to eat when I'm this hot. I'm not going to,
And our first hotel, we're like, hey, we can't adjust the thermostat. And they're like, oh, well, we don't turn the heat on until when it gets colder at night. We're like, the heat on? We're trying to cool it off. We're on the 750th floor. It's 1,000 degrees up here.
That's when you just go down the hallway to the ice machine and you just bury the floor in ice. You're fine. It's all good.
Well, we were on the 25th floor.
Yeah.
No one likes to brag. Get it.
Yeah.
But they do banks of elevators. Like the first elevator goes to here.
Would you say that you went up, and up? Go ahead.
What
Gotcha.
goes up?
Yeah.
Goes up and up and up.
I'm telling you, still stuck in my head.
I hate you so much. So the bank of elevators that we were in went 25 to 34, I think.
Yeah.
The ones next to it was 15 to 24. So, but the line for, like, I think they had most people on the 25th to 34th one.
Oh, I
so
know
those
where
lines
you're
are
at.
forever. So finally, I was just like, boom, I went over to the next bank, took the elevator to 24 and went up one flight of stairs.
And then got on that bank.
Yeah. Well, no, that was it. I'm on the 25th floor. I just got to walk to my room.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
I offered that to so many people and they're like, oh man, no. I'm like, it's one flight.
Hey, that's a mind-blowing fact.
Yeah. You would rather stand here in this line for 20 minutes as opposed to go straight onto an elevator and walk up one flight of stairs.
So you did your own fun fact.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I also forgot.
Nobody bought it, though.
I feel bad to mention this, that first time I've seen our friend Jeff Julian.
Oh, yeah.
In
I saw the
years.
picture.
I see him in New York City. And we're walking in, and he's like, is this the plaza? I'm like, yeah, I think it's, well, I'd been there earlier that day. I'm like, yeah, that is the plaza. He's like, we should pop in there for a drink. And I'm like, all right, I don't know if that, because when I walked there originally, they had doormen, they weren't letting people in.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, he's at the conference, same conference Tina's at. So he's still dressed like full suit and everything like that. I'm not dressed like
You're his plus one.
I'm not dressed like a scumbag. I want to make it clear. I'm wearing a collared shirt and everything. And they don't say anything. He walks in. He's like, see, they didn't say anything. Right, because you look like you belong here.
Right, yeah.
If I was dressed with my Who Farted t-shirt on,
Yeah,
I think they might have had a question about
right.
that.
Yeah.
We get that. We sit down. They give us a menu, and first thing I think is T-bone steak, $130. And he's like, "Ooh, we're gonna pay for this." I'm like, "Yeah, you think?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Did you want any food?" And we're like, "No, we just want drinks." So you could just hear the as they take the menu.
There goes
away.
my 20%
Right.
gratuity.
Yeah. I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't want a $91 burger. I'm sorry."
I thought it was funny because you took a picture with him and you're like, you run into interesting people. And I'm like, did you see John Stamos?
Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, he's the one that took the picture."
Yeah.
Wouldn't get in it though.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because I took a picture from the plane of seeing the Statue of Liberty because it's the first time I've seen it, quote unquote, in person.
Right.
And I land as soon as I get, hey, he's like, are you in town for the AACC? And I was like, I turned to Tina, like, are we in town for the AACC? And she's like, hold on. She like pulls out her itinerary. Apparently we are. And I text back like, I guess we are.
I'm going to go to an escape room and see Hamilton.
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I was just here for the free ride. I don't know what you're talking about.
That does not check out. I do not understand what you're
Well,
saying.
then we get to the hotel and it's just plastered everywhere. Welcome, AACC. And I was like, and you didn't know this is what we were going to?
Yeah. So that's what provided us this awesome trip. Cool. Thanks, AACC. Appreciate it.
Well, then the last day we're waiting for something. I walk up and I just walked up to this couple and I said, hey, you guys flying back today? How was your thing and everything? They're looking at me. They're crazy. And I was like, I'm Tina's husband. We've met numerous times. Oh, Ted, how's it going?
Did you ever have off?
And he's like, they're like, did you enjoy Hamilton? So like, you've heard I've been here, right? This isn't news to you.
Hey, Ted, when'd you get here? Just came in to fly out today. That's all. I just got here this morning on a red eye.
And they're like, did you any comedy when you're out here? So you know that much.
Yeah.
But not my face.
Yeah. That's what's so awesome.
I know. You know what was great? I was behind him in the line to get on the plane at O'Hara. Stood right behind.
That's awesome.
I recognized them then too.
Yeah. They did not know.
Yeah.
They thought it was Wilson with one L. They're like, there's no way
And
that's a
then,
2L guy behind me.
Also, I saw them. We were checking in.
Yeah.
4 days earlier.
Yeah.
Because we stayed longer than the conference. But they're like, we didn't see you that you were on the plane. The plane had like 20 rows. It's not a big plane. 2 seats each. It's not a big plane. After they did the we're about to land, don't fasten your seatbelts, don't get up. Tina's like, oh, did they do the seatbelt thing? Like, yeah, we're descending. Can you not feel the plane going down? She's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm like, well, you should probably go. She's like, well, but I'm like, you've been on a plane before. You haven't. When you land, it's not like they open the door. You got to land. You got to wait for your turn to taxi to the thing. You got to get to the thing. They got to cross check. They got to open. The 40 people in front of you have to get out. I'm like, if you need to go to the bathroom, please do it now. So she gets up and makes this giant scene and everything. I don't know how the people in the other, like the 4 rows behind us didn't go, is that Tina?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right. She went to Hamilton with her husband who does stand-up comedy. Don't have a clue what he looks like.
it's like if you stand up, it was like the size of a bus with wings. Like if you stand up on a bus, like you stand in the aisle and people know who you are and like, you're like, wait, is that Damon?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, I didn't see you at all.
They're like, we're on a plane. That's not Damon. We know it's not Damon. But yeah.
We didn't know you were on the same plane. Like how? First off, we were right behind you as we were boarding. Like I had to wait for you to go past.
Okay. Another mind-blowing fact. All right.
Sorry, I changed it.
I'm saying you're not ready for this one. Tinder made its first match on the continent of Antarctica in 2014.
Was it with bees?
Both people were research scientists.
Get out.
Yeah, I know. It's like, first off, I didn't even know you could get like you're swiping. That's like loading.
That'd be
loading,
like, what I don't get is how many people were there. Like it'd be like if we were in this room.
Yeah.
Like if you and Mac like hooked up on the same. I don't want to say Tinder.
But we connected.
Yeah,
it's like
both, LinkedIn. You're like, I know that guy, and you like look over and he's sitting right there.
People you may also like.
If you were like, hey Damon, what? Swipe left.
You just hear it in a very sexual voice.
Isn't the swipe right the good one? Yeah. That's why I swipe left.
Please swipe left. Swipe left, up or down. Don't care. Just not right.
Up, down, left, left.
Yeah.
BA, start.
Yeah. What happened to the right? No. There's no right. No.
What goes left goes left and left and left.
Never goes right. So, see, that was a mind-blowing fact. Nobody knew that they would be scientists.
I guess the other thing would be pilot.
Yeah.
Like those are your other options.
First off, if you're both on Tinder in the cockpit and we make a love connection, I'm going to be like, cool. You left the door open. We could see you making out.
Yeah. Pull up. Traffic.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to do a strange story now.
Nope.
Still too long. Is it the wrong one?
Yeah. Hey, we gave Mac 2 weeks to prepare, and that's what we get. So, again, Audiohive Podcasting, where the showers are wonderful. So,
we heard.
Sorry, real quick, did he ever talk to you guys about that?
No.
So,
he did tell us we were supposed to play the bad one first. You did it in the wrong order or something, right?
So I had it loaded up for the episode before the live one, and you guys didn't push it for Strange Stories.
And then you forgot, left it on there?
No, so the second one I already had set up. So I had the first session set up with the right one, or the wrong one, the bad one, and the second session set up with the good one.
So you were too prepared.
Yeah.
So he's either overstimulated.
Yeah, he would like data dump this whole thing, and it was literally like a whole like this is supposed to happen, this is supposed to happen, this is supposed to happen, this is supposed to happen. And I was like, oh yeah, Mac messed up. Cool.
None of that happened.
When you guys, you went into Strange Stories, you didn't hit the button. I was just like, are you kidding me? They always hit the button. It's like the one time you didn't hit the button.
That would have been perfect if you went, oh no. That would have been.
Oh, you just reminded me. That's where I forgot. At Pop Fuzz, the guy's store that's so great. You guys should check it out. I bought a Kool-Aid Man pop figure. I forgot to bring it in.
Did you really?
Yeah. That sucks.
What color is it?
I have to paint it brown.
Nice.
But no, the funny thing is, Mac, is that the reason why I kept pushing it during the live show is that he kept saying, like, you guys should really talk about Strange Stories. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, that's because he was texting me. He's like, can you get them to push it again? And I was like, I don't know. They might get suspicious if it's coming from me.
Oh, I got suspicious when he brought it up 9 times in the chat.
Yeah. The chat room.
We're 3 minutes into the live show. You know, it'd be great. Strange Stories.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, ever done those Strange Stories? Yeah. Strange Stories would be good to hear.
When you guys hit the button the first time and the good one played, I immediately got a text all caps that just said Brian.
Yeah. See, somebody else gets it and feels our pain. We appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna do Strange Stories, and we're not gonna press the button. So we'll go here. All right, so don't.
He still knew it was coming.
I still saw it coming.
No, don't.
Oh, we're not going to edit all this out, are we? Yeah. All right. So,
hey, Mac, I'm making you money every time I do this.
Oh, if it makes him giggle too, that's funny. Oh, take that one off the board. Take it off the board.
Survey says still on the board.
Yeah. Number one answer. So, strange stories. Washington City ordered to pay $125,000 settlement to a cat accused of killing dozens of pets.
Now, it's because the cat didn't do it, or because people didn't like those pets anyway?
I'm not sure, but we're going to meet. It's the first sentence. Meet Miska. She's a tabby cat living in Bellevue, Washington. She's been embroiled in lawsuits for the past 8 years.
You see this cat on a stoop with a cigarette?
And that's because she's a homicidal sociopath, allegedly.
You see this cat like on a stoop with a cigarette, like, they just won't leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like the law or the pets? Both.
Yeah.
I just can't get out from under this.
I got so many lucky rabbit's feet. Every time I see a rabbit's feet, I know there's a rabbit
I
connected
got
to
9 lives. How am I supposed to know they don't?
it. Right. Why you be busting on all my lies, man? Unless I get 9 life sentences, I'm good, man.
I just throw away a few. I don't care.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden it's like a what is that? A typical, well, this is Washington. So I guess realistically, like ska, they're
Right.
totally into ska.
Yeah.
The cat's wearing a beret, or what's the hat? Fedora.
It's wearing one of those hats with the fake braids in it. Like
Hey,
a
man.
Rasta hat.
Hey, man. But it says since 2014, Miska has been slapped in various court orders, allegedly committing cruel and horrendous atrocities on her neighborhood's other animals. According to complaints, she's killed at least, this sentence doesn't make sense, killed at least dozens of pets. Okay, a couple dozen, but dozens, that's kind of weird. We're emphasizing the alleged nature of these crimes because even if she had committed them, her court case has taken a surprise turn. Yes. In early May, the city of Bellevue and King County were ordered to pay a $125,000 settlement to Anna Daniele, Miska's owner. Why? Not because her cat was proven innocent, but because the lawyers managed to prove governmental overreach. Let's take a step back and see how we got here. So she got paid because the government shouldn't have stepped in and done this? That's really what it is, right? Crazy.
Right.
125 G's. All right. So complaints, alleged misdemeanors have been flooding into the county. According to My Northwest, which I guess is some kind of publication, the first complaints date back to 2012. At that time, the residents filed a complaint about a cat stalking, in quotes. I can use quotes right there because I'm reading it. Stalking their dog. Okay, this cat sounds like a badass.
Yeah.
I really like it. We're not sure what she did, but in light of later accusations, the dog got off easy. In 2014, another neighbor said that, Miska had left the neighbor's rabbits with their ears and tails ripped off through the wire of their hutches. So their outdoor furniture, she basically went, I'll keep these and I'll drape the carcass over your lawn furniture. This cat is awesome.
Well, it started small. I'm just going to watch your pets for 2 years.
Right.
And then I'll make my move.
Right. I realize when I go after dogs, people get mad. So you have rabbits. The same neighbor also claimed it's been going on for at least 7 years. The complaint said that Miska had killed dozens of animals over those years, including rabbits, chickens, and ducks. Mac, is there any chance you just have a long commute to work and you live in this Washington neighborhood? Chickens. Anything? No?
Here you go.
Are you putting it up? I don't know what you're putting up there.
Yeah, why are we putting a picture of someone slaughtering a chicken?
I don't know.
I don't think that's how the cat did it.
We're talking about chickens.
I think he's just like, wait, did you just have that on? You're like, hey, you know what? I'm looking at this.
All right, here's my screensaver.
You know why you guys can't go in the shower? All the severed feet.
Right. My lucky chicken's feet. No, I don't think that's it's rabbit's feet.
You know, to be fair, we've only seen
These rabbits' feet.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
He's so excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah. He
You
giggled.
thought-
I
you
just
thought
can't
that
believe
made
they
him
queued it
giggle.
up for me, and I had it right here.
But it says potentially close to 100 den animals. So,
Stop.
and then it says how many pets are in this neighborhood? Because if you think about it, first off, if you have rabbits, I hate to say it, if you're breeding them to sell them, I guess, or whatever, because I mean they breed themselves, they multiply like crazy. You're missing a few. You know, I mean, you're gonna make an omelet, you're gonna break a couple eggs. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I don't know how many of those it's actually killed. But then you have ducks and chickens in this subdivision, apparently. Okay.
To be fair with rabbits, though, the more stories I see from people I know where the dog has gotten to rabbits, and that the rabbits come back every year and keep having like babies in those yards.
Yeah, slow learners. Yeah.
Like I have a cul-de-sac across the street from my house that has no pets in it.
Yeah.
Rabbits can have that whole thing.
Potential coyotes.
Yeah.
Potential coyotes.
Well,
So-
those are on the other side of the street. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're not going to cross the street. For rabbits.
Right. Yeah. That's pavement. We don't go over there. Like it's some weird DreamWorks movie with animals. You know.
Here's the thing.
Ooh.
There's a chance the coyotes might not go in the cul-de-sac.
Right.
There's a guarantee
That your
I'm going to
dog's
let
in
my
your
dog
yard.
out in my yard.
That is 100% accurate. That's funny because the dog is not going to poo in the house.
Mhm.
So it will.
However,
It will at some point in time be in that yard.
I'm standing on the porch. I'm standing at the back door yesterday. And I was like, I think the dog took a dump right on the steps.
Yeah. So
And when Tina's like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. There's a turd on the steps. Are there other people back here?"
I was going to say, did any of you put a turd on the steps?
And it's not like it's on the porch part. It's like up on the steps.
Yeah.
So it's not like it blew in off the
Right.
like some sort of Mary Poppins turd floated down from the.
You look up and there's another dog on your roof. Got him. Got him. But, so
Yeah,
here-
just pause to his eyes, pause to me.
Yeah. I'm watching you, bro. So animal control officials ordered Daniela to keep Miska inside or in an area secured with a padlock or leashed if she was outside. However, Daniela didn't comply. As she said, being stuck inside would make Miska unhappy, in quotes. Okay, you know what? If you want to cage a serial killer, it probably makes them all extremely unhappy. Okay, because you know what they can't do when they're caged?
Kill.
Okay, the one thing
I knew that.
yeah, the one thing they really want to do, they're not allowed to do it.
Oh, you know what I don't have in here is victims.
Hey, it's cool if you cage me. Could you throw a rabbit in here every once in a
Yeah.
while?
I see you've provided water and food, but I need stuff to kill.
Yeah. You know what? This is killing me
Yeah.
that I can't kill something. So she filed an appeal against the confinement, and a month later, she'd seen 6 other unconfined cats prowling the neighborhood. One of them closely resembled Miska with stripes and coloring. Could it be another cat altogether that was behind the killings? Who knows? So anyway, she momentarily agreed to sign surrender forms for her cat. However, the animal rescue workers later came to pick Miska up. She refused to hand the animal over. This was extremely frustrating to us as we were ready to get Miska into a home where she was not free roaming. Okay, so now she murders in the house. Okay, so
The murders are coming inside the house.
right. How did the parakeet and the goldfish and the hamster all die
That's just
the
super.
day we got this cat?
That's just super lazy. That's the generation we're at right now.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go outside and murder.
Yeah.
I just want to do it in the house.
If you don't clean that cat box, you're next. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Can they just come to me and I'll murder them?
Yeah.
I don't.
So,
Can I just DoorDash some victims?
over the years of complaints and fines, they've been steadily rolling in. But by this time, she reportedly has more than 30 cited violations and has accrued more than $30,000 in outstanding fines. But neither the cat nor Daniela may ever have to pay those because it seems that she won her countersuit. And that's the case. It got so overblown that the lawyers have an entire website dedicated to documenting its developments. So you could go to a website, which it doesn't give it on here. But you go to a website and it'll show you how this cat got freed.
I don't want to put anyone off or upset anyone, but do you know how we could have saved so many pets?
Yeah.
It was putting the other one down.
Yeah. So, but it seems now their efforts have paid off. The courts have determined that they own the money because they overreached their authority. So you see, it turns out that Daniele's neighbor is an animal control manager. Oh, and that means he's directly involved with the complaints about the cat. So, which according to the lawyer is a conflict of interest. So I guess that's true. My neighbor's cat is a killer. How do you know? I just know. And I'm with the county.
Right.
So yeah, so it's all good. So
Wait, how do we know that this guy isn't just putting things down?
Yeah.
Because which is more likely, the guy that's like in animal control,
Yeah.
or the neighborhood cat?
Right. Oh, you're playing our music. All right. I'll be honest with you. The last sentence in here is the best. It says that we should point out that in October 2020, Miska had reportedly been missing. Nobody's seen her since then.
Did she kill herself? We'll never know. That checks out. It's Damon and Ted.
So you turn the music back up.
Yeah.
I got you. I see how you go. Oh, keep it down. Keep it down. You guys can finish.
And then he gave the
I'll
word.
answer your question for you. They can find us at thatchecksout.net. All the socials of That Checks Out WDT. WDT stands for With Damon and Ted. I'm Ted. That makes him Damon, coming to you here from Audiohive Podcasting Studio. You'll hear us next time. I don't know.
Yeah. And coming soon to YouTube. Yes.
And you'll see us next time.
Yeah.